Let's get everyone in. All right, everyone is going to watch the recording. You could probably skip to minute 5 or so. That's where we're going to officially start with the training. In the meantime, those who join us right now, let me know in the chat where you're joining us from. Where are you joining us from and what are you doing for a living? That'll be great to know. And I'm just going to open all my thing for everyone who's joining YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and wherever we're doing that from. Chats. Yeah, put it in the chat, guys. Let me know where you're from. Cool. I see Walter, Canada. Good to see you here. Elmar from Albania. Nice. Tulsa. So Walter in restaurants, Tulsa, coach business. Nice. Team from Tulsa, sorry, coach businesses. John from San Jose, nice. And Ken Calgary, project management. Kevin, Stockholm, working on acquisition, nice. Austin, caregiver, good stuff. All right, let's wait another minute or two and get started. Deep from London. Cool. All right, so Los Angeles electrical contractor. Cool. So I'm going to go through a quick finding businesses. What is finding businesses? That's your business? Florida. Anyone else familiar? Okay. Okay. Cool, guys. Let's get started. So today, welcome to the training. So if you don't know me, my name is Moran Peber. I'm the founder and CEO of Acquisitions.com. So if you hear, you probably heard about Acquisitions.com. How did you hear about us, by the way? Let me know in the chat. I'm just curious. How did you hear about us in general? And in the meantime, I'll let you know that in the last 2.5 years, we're involved in more than 120 deals and acquisitions. Companies doing between 500 to 40 million a year. And yeah, more than 9 countries, like 15 industries or more at this point. You know, the biggest network when it comes to M&A entrepreneurs. We have that one with entrepreneurs, investors. Cool. So I feed mostly people from Facebook, YouTube, good stuff. So yeah, so today I want to go through a few problems that I see in the market and hopefully help you with supporting them. All right, cool, guys. So let's talk about that. The internet, cool, YouTube, social media, good stuff. All right, cool. So here's the thing, guys, right? A lot of people ask me, why we're even doing this acquisitions, right? Why people didn't get to acquisitions? Well, here's the thing. Well, let me share my screen real quick. I think it'll be easier. Let me do that and show you my drawing skills on my iPad. Can you guys let me know if you can see my screen, please? Can you see this? Just let me know in the chat, please, and we'll get started. Yes, thank you. All right, cool, guys. So let's get started. So here's the thing, right? A lot of people ask me, cool, why people even go into this world in the first place, right? Well, what is the problem, or what are the problems? What do you think, guys? Why people get into this space in the first place, or start to be an entrepreneur in the first place, or try to do acquisitions in the first place? Let me know in the chat. Like, why do you think? Why are you trying to get into this space in the first place? I'll tell you what I usually see when, at this point, we helped hundreds of entrepreneurs in this space, and this is what I see. I see people want their financial freedom. All right. What else, guys? Let me know in the chat. What do you guys see? I see people just want to reach their potential. All right. So reaching potential. And by the way, if you stay with me until the end, I'll let you know how to get all those notes that I'm writing about. Right? What else, guys? Legacy. I see legacy, definitely. Right? What is even legacy? Right? So here's the thing. So the way that I see that, we don't want scale, no scale limits, if that's even a way to put it. Right? We don't want limits on ourselves, on our, on our capabilities and our talent. Also, I know that a lot of you, if you're here, you probably think that work hard is okay, but you want to be rewarded. Right? Do you agree? Like, let me know in the chat. If I told you, hey, you need to work like 10, 12 hours a day, but in a year from now, you'll have like $10 million extra net worth at least. Would you be happy with that? If I told you you need to work that hard? Right? I mean, a lot of people I know here would say yes. A lot of people, they just want their freedom, right? They just want to buy one business and have, just a good lifestyle. And that's okay as well. Others here might say they just want to be in control, and everyone have a different answer for what is control for them, right? Specific amount of cash coming in, specific amount of time that they need to work or not, or spend with their family or kids or whatever, right? So today, the goal is to fix those things and show you the way, right? So if you're ready, just put in the chat, I'm ready. And I want to let you know, like for me, I mean, I had my shares of past failures, just so you know. So at this point, I mean, I had my exits. I had this last 2.5 years, we're supported more than 120 acquisitions, hundreds of millions in revenues that they supported in acquiring. We have people who went through roll-ups that bought $200 million in less than a year. So, but it didn't start like that. Like I wasn't always like that. I didn't start like that, right? I started my first business selling flowers in the street, right? And I had a lot of problems there. Like for those of you here started business from scratch, what are some of the problems that you probably had? I can tell you some of the problems that I had, right? First of all, I didn't know what business model to pick. I literally stumbled upon a business model by accident, right? Or how do you pick a sector? Same here. Like when you start from scratch, how do you even pick a sector, right? Or what business to start or buy in our case? I didn't know when I started, I'm talking about like I was like 16 or 17, right? I didn't know how to grow a business. I didn't know anything about sales, right? About marketing or product. Like how do you make the product better? How do you even think about the product in the first place? Right? And yeah, I see in the chat, scaling is not as easy as you think. Invisible walls. Yeah, you have a lot of breakpoints. We'll get to it. Every business got lots of breakpoints. Usually it comes down to like between 0 to 1 million a year. Then you have between 1 to around 3-5 million a year. Then 1 to 10 million. Then obviously you have a lot from 10 to 100. So from 0 to 1, you just don't know what's the what. You don't know what you need to even sell. What's the sector, what you need to sell. In this area, it's more about the who and how. Right? And here we're talking about more professionalizing the business systems, IT and stuff like that. But let's talk about those for now. Right? Obviously, I didn't know things like finance, accounting. Did anyone here have issues with those things in the past? Like when you tried to start a business from scratch? Dealing with taxes, legal, accounting, accrual accounting, cash accounting, scaling. What it's even mean to scale a business when you're just starting from scratch, right? Well, I'll tell you what, like I'm giving you right now things that I wish I knew at this point. Wow, like almost 17 years ago. Yeah, 30, 17. Yeah, wow, like 17 years ago, almost at this point. Like so much that, you know the sentence that says, hey, like let me know in the chat, if you had the option to go back to your, 10, 15, 20 years ago, what would you do? And that's what I'm allowing you to do today. So here's the thing. In our world, if you're hearing the video in this webinar, you probably understand that we believe in buying businesses, right? So in acquisitions. So why do we like the idea of buying a business instead of starting off from scratch? Let me know, like, what do you think? You have access to things like immediate revenues, right? Like how difficult it is to start from scratch and get revenues in the first place. So freaking difficult. What about customers? You get access to customers right away, right? Customers. If you're buying the right business, you have profits right away. How difficult it is to be profitable when you're starting a business. You have access to database. Some of the biggest companies in the world nowadays are not internet companies, they are database companies. Amazon is not just selling you products really fast, they're selling you or getting access to your database really, really fast with things like, some of their, or Apple. How many of you had scenarios where you're saying something and then a minute later you see retargeting ads on exactly what you said? If you're not paying for the product, you are the product. What about systems and processes, right? When you buy a business, you get those right away. How difficult it is to get there from scratch, to build processes. You don't even know what are the processes because you're trying to figure it out on your own. Employees, right? You get access to employees. Anyone here try to hire, retain employees, sorry? Same with clients, right? Obviously, you have less risk when you buy a business because 99% of businesses, startups fail in the first 5 years. When you buy a business, you have more financing options. Anyone here ever tried to finance a startup? I can tell you it's much more easy to go and finance something that's already producing revenues and profits. And obviously you have brand recognition. Anyone here tried to build a brand before? How cool it is if you were able to go to a business, buy it, and then get access to thousands, hundreds of clients right away that have good reviews, right? And today I also want to talk about exits. How many of you here had exits before and were able to sell your business? And I know some people tell me, hey, I don't even want to think about the exit. I'm just getting started. Why do I need to think about the exit? Well, I can tell you there are two kinds of business owners. Anyone want to guess what are they? Two kinds of business owners? Let me know in the chat. There are only two kinds of business owners. While I'm painting this and drawing this, I want to see some comments. I see some comments, but it's not really what I refer to. The way that I see that, number one is those who plan to exit. And we'll talk later about at least two or three ways of exiting, the more time we'll have today. And there are also those who have to exit. Or even better word of have is forced. Because in the end of the day, if you want it or not, you'll need to exit your business. Do you all agree on that? You'll all need to exit your business eventually. Now, the question is, it's going to be intentional. It's going to be coming from a decision that you're making, or it's going to be because you're forced, right? Now, today, I'll show you and I'll talk to you how you can get involved in all of those. Even if you have no money, you don't need money to start. You need to be resourceful. You need to have skills. I'll show you how to buy businesses, or how to work with someone to buy a business, or how to sell someone business and get a percentage. So I'll talk about exits today as well. I'll show you how you can do that with no credit, right? So I'll take away all of your thoughts. If it's money, like money thoughts that you have, or credit thoughts that you have. What's holding you back? What else is holding you back to be successful? Right? Credit, I'll show you how you can do that if you have no experience, no authority. I'll show you how you can do that even if you're afraid. Because in the end of the day, what you're going to do here, guys, is you're going to get access to proximity. There's no one out there in the market that were involved in more deals than us in the last 2.5 years, more than 100 deals. We have people in our network, billionaires that took companies public, $200 million roll-ups in a very short time. Right? I'll show you how you can avoid downsides and avoid risks. I'll show you how you can build credibility even if you don't have. There's no excuses, guys. I didn't start with any credibility, anything. No credit, no money. I barely knew English. You could probably hear English is not in my first language. And all I'm doing is business with English-speaking countries. So yeah, stay with me until the end. And we might even give some more cool gifts and obviously an opportunity to get access to this document. And also in the end, we'll do some Q&A as well if you guys want. Cool. So why we're even doing that? A lot of people ask me why we're even doing all those trainings. All right, well, let me share with you. First of all, I'm waking up in the morning because of this. I want to bring acquisitions and roll-ups to the masses. I want to democratize this wealth opportunity. I hate seeing people that say, hey, you can be successful if you never had a business, or you can be successful if you're not connected to people in Silicon Valley or in big private equity firm. I just hate seeing that because I didn't start there. I started in a very small country, no rich parents, no money, and I was able to get out of there. Why? Because I had the right mindset. I was committed. I knew I can do more. I knew I can do more, be more, become more. And I believe anyone, anywhere in the world can buy and run a successful business if they're committed enough, and obviously if they have the right guidance next to them to make sure that they're not making stupid mistakes. And I know you can do it with other people's money. That's how I've done it. That's how we taught at this point hundreds of people. And the beauty is with acquisitions, there's no limits on the upsides. That's why I love about business so much. There's no limit, right? It's a business. There's no limits on business. Plus, you're in control, right? If you know how to do the deals right, you're in control. And it's the ultimate way to build your net worth and cash flow. The richest people in the world, that's what they're doing. Think about the richest people in the world. Guess what they're doing? They're using other people's money. People like Elon Musk, like Jeff Bezos, they wouldn't be the richest people in the world unless they use other people's money, right? So now I want to quickly talk about the opportunity out there in the markets to show you that I don't care at this point. Like today, we only have a few people in this call, but I want to show you that even if we had millions of people here, we still have enough opportunities out there. There are 71 million baby boomers controlling $30 trillion. And you know what they're going to do in the next decade? They're going to retire. In the next 10 years, they're going to retire. So it means every single day we have more than 10,000 people turn 65 years old in the US. And every day is another opportunity for you to buy their business, your dream business, and help them retire and do something good in the world. Do something bigger than yourself. Connect with others, support others, and making a lot of money doing so. And they beg those baby boomers. You probably heard about those baby boomers generation. Like they're not going to sell their business to their kids. Their kids want to deal with, crypto or NFT or all of those things. They don't want to own businesses that are out there exist for 20, 30 years. It's boring for them. They don't want to deal with it. Right? So that's the opportunity, guys. There are 30. Do you even know what 30 trillion looks like? You know how many zeros? Anyone here know how many zeros $30 trillion got? So this is the opportunity. I want you to understand what's possible. And in the end of today, by the way, we're going to give you an opportunity that we never gave before. So for those of you who want to go deeper with us, more than this 1 hour call, we created this amazing new offer for you. So if you want to get this offer, and you don't have to, of course, but I know someone here wants to go deeper, and it's going to give you basically 4-week live mentorship with me. It's a completely new program. It's going to be basically our acquisitions buy sell incubator. It's an opportunity to work with me for 4 weeks and learn everything from buy, sell thesis, deal flow, structures. I'm going to go through it later. But for those of you who believe already and want to dive in, it's also going to be an access to an event that we're going to have, templates, a lot of things we never did before. We're never going to sell for this price. So because we're just launching it, it's going to be launched on January. So you can join right now for just a very cheap price. So if you're going to do that, I'm going to put a link in the chat and you can go there. And if you don't find the value, full money back guarantee, by the way. So all good. But now let's go back to the content. So proximity. Proximity is crucial, guys. You know, in the end of the day, you need proximity. This is what allowed me to be successful in the end of the day. You know, a lot of things like results are not guaranteed in life. Results. Sorry. So have you ever tried to write down and talk at the same time? Results. They're not guaranteed in life, right? No one guarantees results for you. All you can do in life is put yourself in the best position possible to get the results. And the best way to put yourself in the best, basically to get results, is to put yourself next to someone who already been there, done that. That's the only way I was able to be successful. I was willing to do whatever it takes to be around people that know more than me. I flew to countries. I got to points in my life where I didn't know how I'm going to pay next month rent or next month payroll when I had businesses. Why? Because I did everything I can to be around people that have the results that I want. And it brings me back to, you need to know the results that you want. And you need to start with the exit in mind, right? You gotta start with the exit in mind. So what is it for you guys? Start with the end in mind. Because if you don't start with the end in mind, you're just going to end up in a random place. That's the most awful thing about not thinking and not having intention about what you want to do, right? So for you, when it comes down to being in business, like ask yourself, you know, what is the sector you want to be part of? And obviously there's a process. What is the location that you want to be part of or be at, right? What is the lifestyle that you want? Do you want to work day to day, or do you want to be more of a deal maker, you know? What is your vision? Imagine yourself 5, 10 years from now when you're going to have 10, 20, 50, hundreds of employees. What values you want those team members to have and you to have and the company to represent? When someone going to write on Forbes magazine about your company, what do you want them to tell about the way that it's like to work in your company, right? So what are you doing to do some kind of a SWOT analysis, you know, to understand your market, to understand the trends of your markets, to understand if the market is going up or down, right? What is your background, your passion, right? SWOT analysis is basically strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that you need to learn and understand about your market, right? And when I'm thinking about background and passion, I'm thinking about one of our guys, Borislav. I don't know if you guys saw the interview, Borislav. But this is a guy who came to us, you know, he didn't know what to do. He came to us as a truck driver. So we supported him, we helped him with figuring out what's the best sector for him. And you know what the best sector for him was eventually? It's buying a trucking company. Trucking company doing 13 million a year. You know, 13 million a year, it's not too bad, no? What would you do with 13 million a year business? And he did it with other people's money. So he didn't use his own money. And it comes back to this, you know, he had the vision, he had the sector, he had the location in mind. We helped him with this, figuring out the market, understanding the trends there. But if you don't have this, guess what? You'll just end up with a random business. I don't know, selling flowers like I sold in the age of 16, 17. Do you think I wanted to sell flowers? No, but it's the only thing that came across my, you know, my face, my mind. And that's why I did that. But I didn't have intention around that, behind that. So there are a few steps to get there, right? And the first step is figuring out your deal flow strategy. I want to make sure I'm going to go to everything, but you need to figure it out. Okay, how do you position yourself when you're talking to business owners? Are you going as an individual? Are you going as a company? Do you have a team with you or not? What is it for you? Do you have clarity on that? Who do you need? Do you have a C-suite executives to help you, or you do it alone? Are you looking for off-market deals? Off-market deals are basically going direct to business owners. Or are you using brokers to help you? What is it for you guys? You got to have clarity around that, right? And off-market, even here with the deal flow, you want to focus, you don't need a lot of them. You just need to focus and be really good at least one of them, right? I'm thinking about Michael, who we helped do a roll-up of 200 million a year that he accomplished in less than a year. He had just one deal flow strategy. That strategy was using masterminds for deal flow. All right, so what is it for you? But he was very, very focused and clear about what he wants to do, right? His vision and all that. Took his business from 0 to 200 million revenues in less than a year. He didn't have any experience in that sector. And again, if you want to get into it, right? We'll make sure we put the link again in the chat. Go to acquisitions.com/buy/sell. And I don't want to hard sell you guys, but for those of you who work with us, you know how much value we deliver. We try to over deliver. And this is the only time you'll have an opportunity to join for just $997. When we're going to launch it to the public, it's going to be at least $1,997. But if you know us, you know that most of our programs start, it's around $8,000. So that's what it's going to cost later. Right now, it's only this. And you don't want to pay this later. And it's going to be everything about buy, sell. You're going to get an overview about all of those things to be able to buy businesses or help someone else sell a business or sell your business if you have a good business as well. So let's go to the next step. So after you figure it out, okay, what's your strategy for deal flow, right? What's your vision? Remember your vision, all of this. You have some deal flow going on. Next step is figuring out your structures. All right, so how are you going to finance those deals? All right, what that's going to look like, guys. Well, we have a few ways to structure deals. We have debt financing. So debt is basically taking a loan. We have equity. Equity is basically getting someone to put money in return for shares in the business that we're going to buy. And then we have a lot of creative structures. And I don't want to overwhelm you here too much, but I can talk about this alone forever, right? And some of you might structures. Some of you might heard about things like upside deals, roll-ups, mergers, financing, seller financing, earnouts, value for equity, consulting for equity, fund structure, management groups, things like that. Those are the creative ones. But you got to have something in mind, right? With Michael, the $200 million roll-up thing, it was a roll-up strategy, a call option roll-up. Borislav, it was basically a combination of basically an LBO, leverage buyout. So what is your strategy, guys? Yeah, I see some people are going to ask about what's in the Acquisitions Incubator. So again, the name of the new program is Acquisitions Incubator Buy Sell. And it's a new program. We never did it before. It's an opportunity to work with me live for 4 weeks. So it's a 4-week live mentoring. You could ask me questions and we're going to do a deep dive. So week 1, we're going to talk all about all the buy, sell thesis. Right? Make sure we have a clarity. So that's week 1. Week 2 is all about aligning your deal flow. So make sure that you find the best deals. Even if you're buying a business or you're selling a business, it doesn't matter. You need to find either buyers or to find sellers. All right, week 3, all about developing a structure. Develop structure. Right, some of the stuff we talked about here, we want to do a deep dive, right, on this, all of those ways. When you buy a business or sell a business, how do you know when you're going to sell at the right price? Week 4 is all about transition and execution. Right? How do you make sure that you have everything, the T dots and all that? You're going to get worksheets, videos, templates, scripts, all of that. Plus, we're probably going to be doing an event in 2022, one-day event. So you're going to get free access to that as well. Again, in the future, there's no way we're going to sell it for that price. So if you're thinking of wanting to go deep with us and build that relationship and be committed to the relationship long-term, that's the best way to start. We never sold something like that live option to work with me for that price. Never. You'll have the opportunity also, obviously, to be in a live event and network with people. So also, if you join with today, you're going to get access. You're going to get so first 5 people who are going to join today, going to get a one-on-one call with one of my team members to help you build, make sure you have the right strategy. One-on-one with team member on strategy. So that's just for the first 5. And we're going to start the training in January. So again, this is the opportunity to join for this price. In the future, in the future, it's not going to be the same price. This is a completely new program. It's not related to anything we're doing right now. It's an opportunity to work with me live for 4 weeks and do a really deep dive on those topics. So let's continue with the content a little bit, right? So now we're moving into transition and execution. Right, so what that looks like. Transition and execution is in understanding, first of all, things like breakpoints, right? What are the breakpoints for your business? So like I said, from 0 to 1, you have a breakpoint. From 1 to 3, you have a breakpoint. From 3 to 9, you have a breakpoint. From 10 to 15, you have a breakpoint. You need to prepare for those things. If you are a business owner, you probably experienced that before. You grow a business, then you go down. Right? You try to grow the business, then the business is not working as well as you wanted, and you need to shut things down, let people go. I see a comment that the link is not working. Martin, can you please post the right link if you can hear me in the chat? And if not, at any point, guys, message support at acquisitions. Support at. So you need to understand breakpoints, right? You need to have exit prep. So what are you doing to make sure you have a diligence going on? You have a pre-diligence going on, right? How you're making sure that you're selling, at a rising trend. Right? How do you compensate the team at an exit? To make sure that when you sell the business, they're going to stay and they're not going to leave the business and get you screwed. You also need to make sure that the business is not dependent on you. Dependency, right? You need to make sure the business is not dependent on you. Otherwise, you won't get the price that you want. You need to make sure that you're showing good cash flow management. Right? And you need to show, upward trajectory. And there's also, let's talk about types of exits. So again, you need to start with the end in mind. Keep those things in mind. How do you want to sell your business? Do you want to sell it outright, 100%, and just leave the business and go and do your thing? Do you want to do an IPO, which we're right now looking into on doing what that looks like? Do you want to stay minority maybe and sell, let's say, 75% of the business for like a private equity firm or whatnot? Also, who are you selling to? Are you selling to a private individual? To an individual? Are you selling to a strategic buyer? And with every one of them, you're going to get a different price, a different process you're going to go through. Are you going to go through a merger? And also, who's going to be your partner in the merger? Or maybe you want to exit, as far as I'm concerned, doing a cash flow exit. So what is a cash flow exit? It's basically exiting your responsibilities. Really, there's maybe too many eyes here, but you got it. Right? Maybe you want to continue to run your business forever for cash flow, but exit your responsibilities. That's okay as well. Let's move to the next steps when we're talking about exits. Well, you want to think about, okay, why do you want to sell in the first place? Right? Why to sell? When to sell? You want to make sure you're grooming the business for sale. Right? You want to make sure that you're preparing valuation and understanding what someone will pay you based on the type of buyer that is. Remember, this will determine very much, those first three especially, the type of money that you're going to get for your business. Right? You need to have a deal. Things like, so we talked about this, evaluation, grooming for sale, valuation, deal prep. So deal prep, right? And execution. How do you prepare for everything? How do you execute? Execution. Simple things that people are not doing. They're not timing their sales right. Timing the sale. Guess what? If you're going to sell this year or 2 years now or 1 year ago, like think about businesses that try to sell their business in COVID. You think they're going to get more money or less money? Especially if they got hurt. Depends if they got hurt, right? You want to have a management prep, team prep, right? How do you make sure that they're incentivized to sell the business as well and are part of the exit? You need to prepare a data room, which is basically preparing all your documents. And guess what? The more organized you are on this, then the better you'll be. Otherwise, you'll just get less. So I see some questions about the incubator. It's a completely different program. It's not replacing any program right now. We're testing out a completely new model, which is a buy and sell. You're going to get from both worlds. Right? So it's not the university program. It's not the self-study. It's completely different. It's going to be live. There's no content yet. It's going to be recorded with you live in January. Just want to answer those quick questions real quick. You also want to make sure your team and advisors are ready, right? Also, you're meeting with buyers. What is your process meeting with buyers and positioning yourself the right way? And of course, closing process and post-closing, right? What is your plan doing with the money after you're closing? Maybe it's better for you to finance with the buyer and just get more money on your exit. So again, guys, in the end of the day, if you won't apply yourself, it won't work, right? You need to apply yourself. Sorry for the noise. And if you look to complain, be upset, be a victim, be a complainer, mad, drainer, don't waste your time with us, guys. This is not I'm not here to sell any get rich quick thing. This is for people who want to build real businesses, buy and sell businesses, build real wealth. And the only way it works is if you first change who you are as a person. you got to change who you are to be a different version of yours. You know, you can't stay the same person, the same limiting beliefs, the same thoughts every day and expect the same results. You got to change who you are. So I'm going to quickly go through again what you're getting if you're joining our Acquisitions Incubator buy sell program. And then I'm going to open it up for Q&A. So if you have some questions, put them in the chat, and I'll then I'm happy to answer in the next few minutes while I still have some more minutes left here. So quick reminder, again, the link is in the chat, is in the, we're going to put it below. So it's basically, you can go to acquisitions.com. /buy sell. And yeah, you probably need to put the www in the beginning to make sure it works right. So go here, you'll see the details, but I'll quickly go through that on what you're getting. So you get an opportunity to work with me for 4 weeks live. Again, this is unlike, we only had one program we sold so far, and that's the only opportunity to work with me live. And it costs many, many thousands of dollars to work with me. Now, I don't care where you are. I don't care what's your background. I don't care how much money you have or not. It can still work for you. We'll show you a lot of ways to make it work for you, even if you don't come up with a lot of money of your own, because the goal is to use other people's money. So 4-week live training with me. All right, so you're going to get, again, week 1 is all about building your acquisitions buy sell thesis. Make sure that you're buying a good business or optimizing your business or optimizing someone else's business for a good exit. Week 2 is all about, so this is 1. This is week 2, is all about aligning deal flow, right? So if you want to find businesses to buy, or if you want to find buyers to sell the business to, we will talk about those things and how to do that. Week 3 will be all about developing structures. How to make sure that you're selling or buying for the best terms. Week 4 is all about the transition and execution. Right, so how to make sure that you transition in the right way. Transition can be into a business that you're buying or outside of a business that you're selling that is yours or someone else. Now you're going to get access to worksheets, to a video course, and to different templates and scripts. Like, guys, some of the agreements we have, templates we have, that in itself worth thousands of dollars. And TBD, you'll also get access to some date in 2022. It's going to be a 1-day event with the acquisitions executive team and myself. And of course, here you'll be able to network with people. Not sure still if and when and how we're going to do that, if it's going to be remote or offline, but it's going to be a great opportunity to network and scale your acquisitions business. Cool. So on that note, I'll go to questions right now. So let me just stop sharing my screen. And just for a few more minutes, I'll just make sure I answer some questions here. So first of all, I'll go through questions about the program. So if you have questions about the program, please let me know. So do we get access to study materials before the live training? At this point, no, but whenever it's ready, we'll definitely put it out there. So I can't guarantee if it's going to be now or in January, but as soon as we'll have something, we'll send it over. We just want to make sure that it's being done right. Like in the end of the day, my goal for you is to get results. It's, you know, that's the most important thing here. Let's just see, what is the weekly format? 1 hour day, 8 hours day, 1 hour week. Yeah, so it's going to be a weekly call. So every week we're going to jump on a call, plus open it up for Q&A. And after that, I'm going to send you action steps to work on. That's the goal of the format. In terms of how much time, we'll stay for as long as needed to make sure that everyone is understanding what's needed to move to the next step. My goal here in the end of the day is to get you guys results. I don't care if it's going to take us 10 minutes or 10 hours. During in the industry, going through a huge transition, how do you screen industries? What sectors are good based on what? Yeah, so in terms of what sectors are good, it comes down to doing a deep dive on your situation, your personality, understanding your background, Walter, your contacts, your passion, your curiosity, your goals, the trends of different sectors, and based on that, come up with different opportunities and figuring out the best for you. And that's part of the process we're going to work on. Would your course cover the following? How to know the actual reason when someone is selling a business? How to know the actual numbers? The answer is yes, definitely. Some brokers perform pre-purchase due diligence analysis for free. Are they any good because they would want to sell the business? Yeah, we would definitely consider businesses from brokers. There's just different way to work with them. Once you buy a business with no down, you will be loaded with huge bank loan for which you need to pay monthly. How would you consider buying another business roll up in near future? Well, there's a lot of structures that don't necessarily require for you to put a lot of debt on the business. What you just mentioned is just one strategy. So first of all, when you do that, you need to do it smart. And the second thing is when you buy a lot of businesses, you want to consider other structures that don't require for you to put debt on the business. We all work and take information in at a different pace. Will some of us get left behind? No, you won't, because you'll be able to ask questions during the live event and after that as well if you'll have questions. What can you tell us for Acquisition University? Acquisition University is a different program. It's an opportunity to work with me for a full long year. It's our main program. So I definitely highly recommend to join that. But for those of you still not sure if acquisitions is for them or not, I want to show you and give you results in our incubator. And based on that, you'll be like, okay, now I see what's possible. Now I can get awesome results. And then at that point, you might want to work with me long-term and partner with me long-term as well on deals. And that's my goal with creating this. I just want to go through the Q&A thing to see if I missed anything. You said you would touch on different ways to finance a business. Yeah, Jonathan. So we went through a few options. We went through debt financing, equity financing, and creative structures. So I mentioned structures like roll-ups, seller financing, equity investors, CEO investors, employee investors. Those are some of the structures. And there are dozens of those ways. What is your profit in making us successful? That's a good question. You know, a lot of people ask me, why do I do that? Well, at the end of the day, my goal here is to invest in good businesses. There's actually a big announcement towards 2022 when we're going to probably have a fund to invest in our clients' deals. So I'm looking for people to learn to the level, at least to the level of my understanding, or even 80% of my understanding would be good enough. And then you can bring me your deals and I can even invest in some of them alongside you, if and when you want. And I could support you in operating the business, because you know, it's sometimes can be very easy to buy a business, but the real challenge starts when you want to operate the business. And that's where we can add as much value, if not more, than anyone else out there. How much time need a beginner to buy a first business? It's a good question. So it comes down, Elmar, more to consistency than, so it's kind of like, you know, kind of like working out and getting in shape. You can work out. You don't need to work out more than like an hour a day and just eat well, right? Same here. You don't need to sprint once a month. You need to be consistent. So if you have 1 to 2 hours a day, you can be more than successful at this. And then obviously, if you buy your first business and you want to make it full time, then it's your decision. And you can just move faster, of course, as well. But at some point, when you buy a business, you don't need a lot of time to begin with, because there's a lot of waiting periods. You need to find a deal, talk to a business owner, then wait to receive financials, wait for an answer, wait for this guy, wait for this guy, wait for that institution. There's a lot of waiting in the beginning, so you don't necessarily need full time all day long, even if you want. Do those methods and roll-up strategies work in India? Yeah, they work in every country. As long as you have businesses in your country, acquisitions will work. Acquisitions and roll-ups will work in your country as well. Because every country, I don't care where you're from, look at the richest people in the world, they're probably doing deals, they're probably doing acquisitions. Okay, I think that's it. So I just want to quickly go through things. Will you be running several of these in 2022? I don't know, Davina. I can't guarantee at all. At this point, we try this one, and then we'll see. I don't know if I'll give so much of my time, to be honest. I just think I know that there is the demand, and I thought it's worth doing that. But usually, I never give my time for so cheap. And guys, if you can't afford the 997 price right now, you have much bigger problems. Like, the reason you're here is so you won't have money problems, right? Of course, Sherlock. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here on the call. If your life would be perfect right now when it comes to financial freedom and impact and making the money and net worth and wealth that you want, you wouldn't be here, right? The reason we're doing it is to make sure that you don't have those problems anymore, that you get the skills you need right now, so you won't have any problems in the future. Like, one business is all you need to be financially free. One good business that's making you 7 figures a year, great net worth, great income, and then it's on you. You don't have to do 200 million a year roll up if you don't want to, but one business is good for everyone here to get the lifestyle goals, to get to a point where money is not an issue anymore. And then it's on you if you want to just have a chill lifestyle, or you want to go all in and do a lot of deals. What date is the course starting? It's going to be first week of January. We're going to go live there, and there's a big chance that by then we might have even more material ready for you in the members area. That's the plan as well. So you're going to have a combination of programs and Q&A calls and everything. Cool. So I think we're good. So hopefully, guys, you got some value today. Hopefully that was beneficial for you. In any case, if you have, by the way, if you want the notes that I had today, private message me on Facebook. And yeah, we can send it over to you. Or if you have any other questions, just look for my name in Moran Paber on Facebook. I'll put it here. And that's it, I think. I hope you all have a great day, week, weekend, whatever it is for you, day, afternoon, and evening. And yeah, have a good one, everyone. I appreciate you all. Take care.